If you have money issues, if you have a money mentality, if you have a money habit that needs healing, if you come from a money story that you've carried with you, if you have been waiting for opportunity to arrive for you and to be successful or to be saved or to be protected or to have enough, if you've been counting on a partner to be in charge of your finances instead of you being in charge of your finances, if you have fear, scarcity mentality around money, you are afraid there's not enough. When it comes in, you're afraid to touch it, give it away, do it, or you abuse it, and then you're back into a cycle again. Yes, all of the things. I had a scarcity mentality around money. I was afraid there would never be enough. And whenever I got some, even whenever I got enough, I brought myself back to what I thought my self-worth was. I spent it out, used it away, didn't protect it, didn't change anything. And I kept thinking more money would take away the problems, right? And so that was one of the first things that I really had to get a grip on, was my mentality around money. And every time I went to go take steps towards money, you guys, I'm going to be totally transparent because this, again, was one of my big ones. I felt like an idiot for not knowing. I didn't even know who to ask. I was just like, why do I not know these things? Everyone else seems to know about what they should be doing with their money. I was assuming that everyone was healthy and well in their finances. And so I felt dumb for not being able to do that and to not know. And my husband was not very motivated about it either. So we really had nobody in the house who was taking control of it. So it was just like, we were just kind of like making the bills happen. And even with good income, we weren't having a healthy money lifestyle. And so that created massive anxiety and stress all of the time, where I just was constantly in this never enough. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like just the never enough cycle. I'm not enough. The money's not enough. It can never stay enough. I have to hustle harder in order to do this. And I did what I call momentary sacrifices for long-term gain. It became my lifestyle. And so I got very, very, very tired of running. And the truth is, simple, small, and consistent will change your life. I kept thinking I needed these large chunks of money to then feel safe, because that's what I thought I needed in order to invest or to save or to be financially secure in my spirit. What I found was it was the habit. You're building confidence. I'm someone who can keep promises to myself. I'm someone who can create change. And so when we're thinking about this money issue, it's really important for us to understand that even though we've had a past, remember, we have a past, our beliefs about money, our history about money, it's not in this present moment. Just as much as our fear about the future is not in this present moment. When we think about the past, that's depression. When we think about the future, that's anxiety. Worrying any more about the future does not prepare you for it when it arrives, right? So all we can do is what we can do with right now. So if that's a large chunk of money you have or cents in your pocket, make some small, simple, and consistent changes. And I promise, as you continue to do that, you are going to have such big belief in yourself. It's important for you to know that half of the people in this country do not have $400 in the event of an emergency. They could not come up with $400 right now. 7 out of 10 people live paycheck to paycheck. And they are putting their everyday living expenses on credit cards. Credit cards that the bills that they could have paid even a couple days later when the next paycheck got in or whatever it is, right? The interest is so big on that, they don't ever get out of it, right? They just come back and they owe hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars more. So they're living in that system. What we know is most people think that if I just had more income, right, then I would like be better off. But the truth is, more income won't help if you don't change your habits. More income will not help if you don't change your habits. You'll just spend it on more stuff. So earnings are like the tide and your spending is like the boat. When the tide rises, your boat rises with it. So most people, even the people who are massively successful, guess what? They've gotten a bigger car or a better car, a bigger house, more things, nicer clothes, all the things, and they're still at the same exact place. Their internal thermometer, their confidence around their money resets them right where they should be, right? In as much stress, as much worth as they think that they need. The first part that I really believe is important into living a life that's rich now is understanding the vision of the life that you want. We can't know where we're going, or we can't get where we want to go unless we know where we want to go. What does the landscape of your life look like if you keep going the way that you're going? And then I want you to imagine for a moment, what do I get if I change right now? What does my future look like? I want you to make your future bigger than your past. Because the fastest way to get yourself out of a rut, you guys, is to come up with something new you want to do or be. And so when you think of that picture, I want you to let it inspire you. That vision of, who will I get to be? What will I get to do? How will I spend my time? What will that look like? So the first thing is learning to pay yourself. We all get jobs like around 20s, 20, 22, you probably got your first career, and then you'll probably work till 60, 65. That's 4 decades. That's 45 years of work. And that's around 90,000 hours of work over a lifetime. And most people work that and they have nothing to show for it. 1 out of 5 people saves nothing at all. Most Americans save less than 4% of what they earn. You're going to work all day long. You're going to think you're building your dream, especially my entrepreneurs, but your money is never going to go to you. So how do you do that? Start paying into a retirement account, because every time you pay, you set aside 10, let's just say 10%. You're going to start to pay yourself that first 10% of your day. That changes how it's compound. I want you to imagine you took $5 a day, okay? And you were to invest this. Take that $5 a day and you were to invest this in an account, okay? Look at this number. At the end of the year, you'd have $1,800. In 10 years, you'd have $30,000. In 40 years, you'd have under $1 million.